off.
Oh yeah, later on it we can have the recording. That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
sounds good. Okay, and then what I just sent you, it's loading 1 second. There we go. Do you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I just sent you guys all our templates. So basically you can just recreate a template. It's a simple tool. If you guys use Gmail?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So in Gmail, if you don't have templates as an option, you can go into the settings and turn templates on. And we just saved it. So anytime anybody like text messages us or emails us, we just send like, they're like, hey, we have an agent who is getting ready to onboard. Can you help them? I just go compose template and I send the initial welcome email. So I'm not sending the same message every time, and it's very quick. So in this onboarding, we just say, hey, welcome to EXP. Here's our onboarding checklist, which I'll open up in just a second. We let them know who we are and that we are located in Sacramento, California. Because just like you guys, we have agents all over the states that are onboarding, and it does get tricky.
Yeah.
And then we also let them know, hey, if you're fully onboarded, all the tools we use are just Calendly for scheduling time with us. We use our Gmail, and then we use Google Voice to be our work line. So we let them know they can call, text, or email us at any time. And then we also added the hyperlink for the active agents. This is kind of EXP's like getting started guide. We just kind of threw that in there.
Oh, I see.
Jumping to our onboarding checklist, this is what it looks like. And again, you can just kind of take this whole template, just recreate it your own. I just did a Canva little picture, and then I just kind of added the steps. So we just let them know, hey, the first thing is you're going to do your ICA with your sponsor. That's one thing we don't do with everybody. We do not do ICAs with everybody. We just don't have time to do that. We are dealing with the active agents. Once they actually have their tools, then we're spending about an hour to an hour and a half with them.
So question. So for the application, you actually, let the agent do that by themselves, right? You don't like.
So we encourage the sponsor to do the sponsor should automatically be doing applications with your agents.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
So that's a rule of thumb Brent has laid down. No agent who's onboarding should ever be doing an application by themselves.
By themselves, yeah.
Because that's where they name the sponsor. There's questions about the mentor program. There's questions about agent equity program. You need to make sure that as a leader, you're doing it with them or have somebody designated to do it with them. So whether Sydney's available to do all of that, that's a decision you'll need to make. Since we do it so large, we do not do ICAs with everybody.
Okay, yeah, but a sponsor should do it. I agree.
Yes, the sponsor should be doing it hand down, or your onboarding person. It depends on what you want to provide for your group. So, okay, it depends on, are they actively growing? Is it like one in here? Is it 5 every day? Like that's too many, So you just have to kind of take a look at how many people are onboarding and see if you maybe just offer like your onboarding services to your frontline. And that's just it. Or if you're offering your onboarding services to your whole organization. Brent offers us to his whole organization. So that's why we're really busy. Okay.
I see.
So that's the first step, the ICA. And we just say, hey, allow 30 minutes. Make sure you're doing it from a computer. Make sure you have your EIN number. Just making sure they're prepared on what's to come. And you guys have a copy of this so you can read it line for line. And then everybody wants to know what's going on after they submit their application. So we broke down all the 6 steps. It's the ICA, their license is verified, state approves, document review, and then license transfer. And this is going to be different from state to state, which you guys are experiencing. So anytime I have somebody in a state that I'm really not sure of, like we just had New York come on. I just simply go into the world. So Sydney needs access to the world. Do you currently have access to the world? Yeah, so you would just go into the world and go straight to New York's room, or California's room, or Oregon's room. Hey, my name's Sydney. I'm with onboarding for this organization. I'm not familiar with your state. What are your guys' steps? So just always go into the world and ask them. I go in all the time when I don't know what's happening. And I say, hey, I'm from California. It's a little bit different. This is where we're at. Do you initiate the transfer, or is it something they need to do? Have instructions been sent to them? So really our role comes into play, making sure EXP is doing what they need to be doing without it lollygagging. So we're just kind of like a push on them. That makes sense? Yep. All right. So those are the 6 steps. And then how to transfer your real estate license. So we have it for all states because we don't know all the answers for every state. So we put a link here that they can, if you open up that state joining guides, you can just select the state and then they have like their own little how-to that keeps us out of it. But again, we play the in between with the brokers and the agents in case we need to get in there and ask additional questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the site joining guide is that like an like a document and then you guys maintain it to make
No,
sure.
so this is these are hyperlinks from EXP. So this is an
Oh,
EXP
okay.
link. So when you click it, it opens up the map like this. Can you guys see
Ah,
this map?
yeah.
And then you can go to whatever state you're interested in. And then it's kind of like a joining guide for each state. So you can kind of like get a little, so Sydney would come in here, do her little overview, just kind of read it. And then if you have additional questions, just simply hop into the world and go talk to the brokers, okay? Get comfortable with the world. That's why we have it. We talk to corporate and brokers all the time, all day long. So,
All
but we've
right.
just added this hyperlink in our checklist for agents who just kind of are self-starters. They want to kind of just go through it. Okay.
I see.
And then we point out, hey, we actually help mostly California agents. So we do have transfer instructions. So in this case, you guys may want to add like the Texas transfer instructions. Say, hey, we mostly help Texas, blah, blah, blah. Here's the instructions. Same thing for the MLS. So we kind of let them know, do this immediately. And it's also their responsibility, not ours. Since we do this on an international level, we don't have access to everybody's MLS forms. I only have one MLS form that I'll do for agents in my local area. Other than that, it's the agent's responsibility. You might need to remind them. So as soon as you know, like their license is transferred, hey, make sure you reach out to your MLS board. You're either going to need, for us, it's called an agent change form. Sometimes it's called a new affiliation form. It just depends on the MLS, but make sure they get in contact with their MLS right away. And then we provide each state has like a basics form, like their phone number, their address, everything that they're going to need for the MLS agent change form. So if we can, we get that to them right away. And Sydney, all you have to do, go into the broker room. Hey, I have an agent who's about to update the MLS. Where can I find all your broker information? And then they can just give you a hyperlink and you just start creating folders on your computer and you can organize like Texas or California. And I'll show you kind of a folder, what I mean when I say that. Okay, but does that answer your questions about the transfer and the MLS? We kind of
Yeah.
stay out of it if it's not California. We let them know it's their responsibility, but agents needs reminders all the time. So just in your day to day, you just start having that conversation. Hey, make sure you're taking care of this. So it's as a checklist.
Okay, so kind of set the expectations like, hey, if you're not in Houston, do it yourself, but then we're gonna keep checking in with you.
Yeah, exactly. Just, hey, I want to make sure, have you been able to transfer your MLS? It's something that you will need to do as soon as you transfer your license. Just bring it up. And you can just let them know, we're in this area, so we don't have access to your form, which is the truth. We don't have access to the form. And you just say, hey, just reach out to your MLS. They should be able to help you. Okay. And then we just provide our northern region form. That's the form I was referring to. I actually have that form. So if you would hyperlink your regional form there if they wanted to fill it out. Okay. And then we've kind of added a need to transfer listings. Again, this is for California. So we've made this for our agents more so for California because that's where we onboard the most. So we have like the transfer for northern region, southern region, greater Los Angeles. In California, we have regions for each section. So we've just added all of them there. Okay. And then at the end, we say onboarding passport by appointment. This is once they are fully active. So their license is transferred, they're in enterprise. We throw our Calendly link in there again so they can book a tour with us. Okay, and then we threw that getting started guide again in there in case they want to kind of run through it by themselves. Okay, so you guys have a copy of this so you guys can review this checklist. This is simply what our checklist looks like.
If you don't mind me asking, when you scroll down or when you say you're gonna do an onboarding tour with them, what exactly is included in the onboarding tour?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that in just a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but before I do that, let me check the list. Okay, so when we do an onboarding tour with our agents, we take them into enterprise. Let's see if I have it open somewhere. 1 second. I have all these tabs. There we go. Sydney, have you seen this dashboard?
I have. I don't remember where though.
Okay, so this is This is referred to as their passport account, and this is what we're working with corporate to get rid of, because they have passport, but then they also have enterprise. And this is when agents receive, like when they're active, what we're looking for is their congratulations email, because it says, here's your EXP email, and then access your tools. When they access their tools, the hyperlink that is provided is strictly enterprise. So we have now just focused on enterprise, and we're not worried about the other dashboard because they kind of mimic the same. So it's just 2 spots, same information, duplicate. So we're trying to get rid of it. Okay, but we do take them into enterprise. And this is when they book a Calendly with us, this is the tour that we're doing with them. So our first tour is about an hour, and then it's followed up by 2 days later, we do a check-in tour, which is about 30 minutes. And then kind of from there on, you just remind them, hey, I don't work for EXP Corporate. I'm part of the onboarding. I play the in-between. So if you need help, please let me know. But our goal is to make sure that they're comfortable, they're confident, and they're connected with all of their EXP platforms. Okay, so we log on a Zoom. I ask them to share their screen and make them co-host, and then we remote take over. And then, sorry, give me 1 second. I need some water.
Oh no, take your time, please.
I'm gonna need that.
Let me go close my door real quick.
Yeah.
Sydney, we could go over all this, like ideas for our leadership breakfast tomorrow.
Okay.
I love, so on her California docs, she had everything for California, like the ENO, any kind of weird question of the NRDS number, the copy of her insurance, you know, what the IABS would look like everything was on there. So you could just send one link rather than going to find it.
Yes.
The W-9, lease invoice, everything.
And then and it's pronounced, is it Hugh?
Hui.
Hui?
Uh-huh.
Hui. Can he hear me? Is he there?
He went to go close his door. It's like a sneeze. Hui.
Hui. Okay. He said his organization is almost 300, and so are you guys in the alpha, beta? Are you guys in a group like that?
Yes. Yeah, I think he's in the beta. We just made alpha like a couple weeks ago. So we have our first meeting this Thursday.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it is time to like start getting systems of, okay, maybe we hire, I don't know if y'all do like are available for hire or what, but to find some leverage for that. I love it.
Yeah. And then what you could do, since you're in the alpha, you can request, because that's what Brent did. That's what I did on his behalf. You can request a private workplace group chat for Sydney. Because even though, Sydney, are you an agent or are you just kind of an admin role?
She's an agent.
As well.
You're an agent as well. Okay, so and then everybody's falling into your organization, Amanda. So we just use you as the alpha, and we say, hey, I would like to create a private workplace chat, because earlier I was saying, oh, you can go into the world. Well, that becomes a little repetitive after a while when you need quick answers. So what we have as alpha is we have a private workplace group chat specifically for our region. And so I think it's, let me see her name. It is, where's she at? Kay Russell. She's the manager. Kay Russell. Yeah, you can like workplace chat her and just say, hey, I'm new with the alpha group. We have large onboarding or quick onboarding, however you want to word it. Can we please have a private group started workplace chat for my admin, Sydney? And then you can just create a message. And that way Sydney can just have workplace up on her, and she can just message like in the morning, hey, where's Sally Jones at in the process? Or, hey, I just had Bob Jones do an ICA. Can we get it expedited? Or, hey, there's a revision. Can you guys resend it because they can't find the email? It just becomes a quicker form of communication.
That's awesome.
Can you guys see this page, the Gove team alpha?
Yep. We see
Okay,
it.
so this is like a workplace group chat that just goes on and on and on, but it's strictly all about onboarding, and they give us hyperlinks, W-9 forms if she can't find it. Hey, I need the W-9 agent change form, or hey, I need something, and they'll just kind of throw it in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it becomes really helpful, but it's an alpha thing. So now that you're alpha, I would encourage to request it.
Okay.
Because it moves things along quicker. So, okay, going back to enterprise, we take them into enterprise, and then we kind of show them, hey, we let them know this is your back office for all of your capping information, and then some of your additional tools. So over on the left-hand side, we start out with my business, and we show them their agent profile. Once in here, we let them know, update your headshot, here's your agent ID. If they need to change their forwarding email, they can do that themselves right here. They can just click email and then change forwarding email. So I always ask them, hey, are you happy with where your forwarding is going? Sometimes agents fill it out with their junk account, not realizing like that's their inbox. So sometimes we need to change that. And then down in the center, we let them know, hey, this is your capping information. And so all the way to the right over here is the cap percentage reach, because the agents always want to know, where's my capping at? They're going to have access to it themselves. Okay. And then also if they're on Teams, or if they really want to know where their documents are, there's a documents tab. And this has a copy of their ICA and their team agreements if they're on a team. So in case they ever need to review any of that, we let them know it's all right there. Okay, and that's just simply my agent profile. Underneath that, we encourage them to set up their expert profile, which my husband has not done. But like their headshot, their website, their Facebook, their bio. I don't know why his isn't finished. He's been with EXP for like 4 years. So we need to come in here and do this. So this is something we encourage in the beginning. Okay. And then underneath that one is online payments. This will take them into the back office for their monthly fees. We say, hey, you have access to change it. You can update your card if it expires, things along there. Oh, we have a bunch of invoices. Oh, because we changed our card. Look, I'm learning things. Oh, we owe $255. So we let them know, hey, you have some invoices. Ours is like this because we were on auto pay, but we just got a new card and we didn't update our back office. So we will come in here today and update that. Okay. And then they always ask me about their fees. The 149 is including their first 30 days, and that's their startup fee. It's a one-time fee. And then the 85 is a reoccurring monthly fee, and it's for their education and their technology. So all of the live classes, the recorded classes, and then the technology is going to be their SkySlope account, their KV Core account, their workplace account, and the world. So in case people are like, well, why am I paying $85? You're paying for the platforms. Any questions about that? Nope. All right. So those 3 tabs, agent profiles, back office for capping, expert profile, we're going to encourage them to set up. And then online payments is where we just went into for VersaPay. Okay, those are the 3 main ones. And then also on here is the revenue share dashboard. So we can take them into revenue share dashboard. And then, are you familiar with the rev share dashboard?
We don't use this dashboard anymore, right? We go to the other one.
Well, yes and no. So if you go here, it's going to tell you it doesn't work anymore, but it takes you right to it.
Ah, I see. Okay, so it's just like a one place for new agent to go.
Exactly. So instead of like trying to find all these tabs and keep going, you can technically still use Enterprise for rev share and then hit my EXP and then it will open. So we'll talk to them briefly about rev share, talk to them about the upline partners, the influencer status, and then the actual revenue share dashboard. So this is, we'll talk to them about the FLA, the qualified, the new agents, and how it's been broken down. So this is just ours. And then I kind of don't go too in depth into it. Some people like to get really numbers. I just say, hey, you could talk to your sponsor about it, or we have a revenue share department in case you want the nitty gritty, because there's certain percentages and there's certain things that we don't ever want to give them the wrong answer. So we just refer them back to either their sponsor or back to EXP corporate. Make sense?
Got it. Yeah, so kind of shift the responsibility back to them and,
Yeah, there's certain things that we don't answer because we don't work for EXP and we don't especially since when it comes to like different states and they have like contract questions or like compliance questions, our goal is to make sure they know how to get into the world and how to get to the right person to talk to them. We stay out of all transaction related items. We do not work for EXP. You need to talk to your broker team. Okay, we're strictly onboarding, making sure you're logged into your platforms and that you know how to use them. Okay. All right. So going back to Enterprise, we don't go through all of these tabs either, but in company information, we point out the extend a hand, which is in case there's like a crisis in your family or an unexpected bill, like financial healthcare bill or something, you can reach out to extend a hand. They have some funds for the agents in case people need to request that. We also point out the partners. I actually opened this one and save this in their folder. I just create like a up here, we just create like an EXP folder and then we put certain things in it. Mine is all for onboarding, but theirs is going to be strictly just like their enterprise, their revenue share, their SkySlope, things like that.
Oh, so you create a folder for them in their browser.
Yes, exactly. That's why I was asking if you had a new agent that I could like actually create one for. But in this case, I'm just kind of giving you an overview.
Okay.
But Sydney's welcome to shadow me on an onboarding call, in case she wants to see it like in action. But here we go to the solutions, and the reason why I actually opened this is because we have there's a form that needs to be uploaded. It's called affiliated partnership for everybody across the board. So in case they want to know who we're affiliated with, these are all the partners that we're affiliated with. And then some of these partners actually give us revenue share as well. Like I think it's Success Lending and a couple other ones.
I made my bed.
Okay.
Want to check it?
No, I'm in a meeting, honey. Okay, yeah, yes, you can. Go on. Sorry. So in here we show like we'll open up build a sign, we'll help them with their new agent starter kit, order their cards, show them the signs. And then also the other important one on the bottom is the healthcare. So those two are kind of our main ones. Build a sign because they're new agent starter kit, healthcare because everybody likes healthcare and we offer a discount. So, and we just say, hey, you're welcome to explore these. These are just EXP's vendors. They're called solutions. You don't have to stick to these. This is just what's being provided. And in case you're wondering what that affiliated partnership is about, this is who we're affiliated with. So pretty straightforward. Any questions so far? No. All right.
No, so far. Yeah, so detailed. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's the first section, company information. Again, we just kind of point out a couple tabs. We encourage them to check out the website themselves, check out the press release if they want to, but we only have so much time with them and it's already information overload. So we just try to keep it focused. The second section is technology solutions. So we log them into SkySlope. We save it in their folder. We let them know it's a paperless transaction management system, but we do not train on SkySlope. SkySlope is its own entity. They have their own support system. Our goal is to make sure they're logged in and then show them the tutorials that they can watch. Within SkySlope, they have a support button up top and hours of tutorials, how to create a transactions, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so you kind of put them to Scallop and then stay away from all the template and setup.
I'm sorry?
So you just make sure that they log into Scallop, but you stay away from all the setup and.
Yes, we stay away from all of that. We ask them if they have a TC. We just get them into it because one, I'm not an agent, so I'm not familiar with SkySlope. And two, they have their own training support for it. So, okay. So SkySlope is good. Same thing for KV Core. We get them signed up for it. So they obviously know you have to go to optional services and then you have to request to sign up for KV Core. What we're experiencing is EXP has a glitch and agents MLSs, or I'm sorry, agents associations aren't reflected and you can't sign them up. So what I tend to do is I go into like the state broker room either that morning or the night before, or I message my private chat and say, hey, I have Sally Jones I'm meeting with tomorrow. Can you make sure her association is reflecting so I can sign her up for KV Core? If for some reason it's not reflecting and you're live with the agent, you just open up the world on your end. You go to tech support. Oh no, not tech support. Wait, onboarding support and just say, hey, can you get it updated right now? I need some help. And they should be able to update it in real time. Okay.
Got it.
And then once we sign them up for KV Core, we let them know, hey, you don't have access to it just yet. We're going to cover a little bit of that on our follow-up appointment, which again, we do 2 days later. And then we actually log them into KV Core. We show them the new agent starter kit, not the starter kit, the quick start for KV Core. We show them their website, and then we show them, what is it? We suggest Sylvia to hire out. Her link is kvcorequeen.com because some agents are not tech savvy or they don't have time for KV Core. So we let them know, hey, KV Core is great. It's a CRM system. However, it's not turnkey, meaning it is a system that you need to spend time on. You have to learn. You need to import your database. It's not done for you. Okay. It's the agent's responsibility. And then KV Core has a quick start that they provide. And then also we suggest Sylvia to hire out. So 2 different options. Either they're going to learn it themselves and take the training with KV Core, or they're going to take who we refer to them, Sylvia, and do like a package deal. So if you want to jot her link down, it's kvcorequeen.com. Okay. And then back in the technology solution, we download the world, but we do that at the end. That's when we actually go in there with them. And then we always let them know, don't do guest accounts for agents that are not active. Go in with them. So that's where if you have somebody that's interested and you can just be like, hey, I'm going to connect you with Sydney. She's going to do a world tour for you. It's about a 15-20 minute appointment. You hop on Zoom, you share your screen, and you can show them what the world is going to look like. That way they're not just kind of running around EXP world as a guest, because we all know guest names are in green and active agents are in blue. So you don't ever want a guest just in there by themselves. And then I do actually go into ShareWorks with them. This is a step I used to not do, and it just started causing problems when agents wanted their stock information. So I do take the time to go into ShareWorks and actually help them set up that account fully until they're actively in. It takes about 10 minutes. It's just their basic information. And that way, once we actually have them in there, we say, hey, this is all about your stock. They will not release any information about their stock to us. They have to contact their team. And there's a phone number like in the process of doing the checklist that you go through with them. It tells you, like for Northern California, like this is the phone number. For this region, it's this number. So there's the numbers are right there. And I tell each agent, I say, hey, pull your phone out, put that phone number in your phone and save it as stock, because they will have questions in the future. Okay. And that's what we covered technology. Going down to resources and education. I actually closed this one. I normally would just like minimize it like that. There's a different hyperlink that I like to go over, which I don't think I sent to you guys, so I will send it to you. But it's this link right here. This is the university link. So whenever I get to this section, Sydney, the conversation is, hey, this is resource and is education. I actually have a separate link I'm going to go over with you. So I'm going to just close this out. You're welcome to explore it if you want to. And then I pull up this link. And the reason why I pull up this link is this is the most updated one. However, EXP doesn't have this on every parts of their system. Some of them have old ones, and it should be this one. This is the most recent training. This will take them to the Take Action Path to Production. This is for the newer agent. We let them know it's like a 5-step course, and you can take it. It's kind of for the agent who doesn't have borders around their business. It's a course for them to go through. It gives them like a first 30 days. So maybe you yourself, Sydney, you may want to take action just so you could see what it is. And so when you have agents who are enrolling in it, you can relate with what they're talking about. That's something I would encourage. Okay. Under that is the live classes. And these are all hyperlinks. So it opens up in a new tab. So this is, I'm sure you're familiar with this page. We talk a little bit about the live classes. We talk about how all the state classes are on the right-hand side, and left classes are just kind of everyday classes. And I say, hey, I'm going to show you how this works in just a little bit. And once I go into the world with them, I kind of refer back to this calendar so they can see how they use this to view it, but you use the world to get in there, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Yes. Okay, cool. So that's live classes. And then we also show them the on-demand. So we'll log them in with Passport. This is all the recorded classes. See, I started Action Path to Production, but I've got 6% in because I'm busy. But I myself was going to take it so I could see what's going on. So up top right here, it says My Courses. And then if you hit Course Catalog, this is all the recorded classes. So over on the left-hand side, it's broken down by topic. So you can do like marketing. And then it has like subtopics. So we can do like open house conversations, and then you can enroll. Okay, so just with this home page, you have your live classes and you also have your recorded classes. And at this time, they're kind of like, well, what do I need to be taking? I say, hey, just start with your state classes. And again, I'll show you how to get there once we get into the world. Okay, but this is just kind of giving them everything up front. And then ending with the YouTube channel. We do subscribe them. We actually open this up and we hit subscribe like that. And then we just say, hey, this is our YouTube channel. They go live 6 hours a week. And then these are like your top producers, your mega agents, big hitters that are going on. Glenn hops on here. So in case they want to check that out. And that's why I use this page, because this page has everything. So we just talk about the first 4. Okay, and then I save this, I would save this one specifically in their EXP folder. All right. And then you jump back to enterprise right here. I guess in the resource and education, if you need to talk about the mentor program, you can. But in regards to classes, like I don't open up that calendar, I show them the other calendar. But in regards to mentor program, I do speak on that here and there. Either if they want to be a mentor, or if they're in the mentor program. If they are in the mentor program, I log them into their Go curriculum. Have you experienced that, Sydney? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so if they're in the mentor program, and I know that ahead of time, I won't even show them this page. I will talk about the university on a follow-up appointment if I know they are in the mentor program. Because in the mentor program, I log them into their Go curriculum and just say, take this first. This is all you need to do right now. And then on our follow-up appointment, I then show them the additional trainings because they get all distracted with what they want to do rather than what needs to be done. So we just do that in the beginning. So just to keep that. And then are you familiar with like the splits and the requirements for the mentor program? Yes, okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So sometimes they ask, so as long as you know how to answer that. All right, and then we got.
How would you answer that? Because sometimes there's a lot of confusion for a new agent between a sponsor and a mentor. So
so I always tell the agent, your sponsor is the person who talked to you about EXP, the one who invited you over. However, you're in the mentor program either because you're new or you haven't had 3 transactions in the past year. And we just kind of let them know you're going to be assigned a certified mentor. It's a mentor who has taken a course, and it's a 60-40 split for 3 transactions. And if they're brand new in the business, they pretty much don't have questions about it. I look in their email and like see if they've been assigned a mentor, show them the phone number and stuff. But if it's an agent who kind of like stepped out of the business, but it's been licensed for like years, and they're all upset because they're in the mentor program, you Sydney would take it to the broker room and just say, let's say it's California, you would go to Debbie, say, hey Debbie, I have Sally Jones who was assigned in the mentor program. However, she's been licensed for a couple of years and took the last 6 months off due to having a baby or a loss in the family. Like if you can talk to the broker about something that has happened, you can request a waive out of the mentor program. But with that being said, it's ultimately up to what? And with that being said, it's ultimately up to the broker. So, okay, but you can request it. It won't always be approved, but I always try. So. Okay, next section is marketing and branding. We show them the center one, which is the marketing center. All those templates, flyers, brochures, let them know it's free to download, PDF or JPEG. I actually went in with an agent the other day. She just seemed a little uneasy. So you just kind of range your agents. And I like helped her get her flyer started, typed in the MLS number, and she saw like how it auto-filled. And she was really excited that it was like that simple. So sometimes you just have to take a little bit more time with some agents. But we do show them this. And also, again, they're not just stuck to this. They can use Canva. They can use anything else. This is for that quick turnaround. This is for something we want to get going quickly, okay? All right. And then the last section is social media. And obviously that's workplace. So we open this up for them. We tell them to download it to their cell phone right then and there. So workplace and then workplace chat. Ouch. And we just let them know this is the second quickest form of communication. So the EXP world is the first. You can go in there real time, get help support, just like you know. And then there's also workplace chat, so you can message your brokers and things. So in here, we do jump into, let me move this bar. Bottom left, we do jump into the settings. And then we go to their notifications. And then we turn off their notifications. So normally this first one's selected. So we want to make sure the third one's selected because it syncs to their email and it's just a lot of information all the time. So we just turn those off. Okay. Then we also let them know, hey, you have your own profile. So if you want to make posts, your pictures, anything like that, you can upload it here. And then we just kind of point out the most important ones. So their state group should be most important. Whatever state they're in, we shortcut it. We have regions. So to shortcut, you just go ... and then you go add shortcut. And it will kind of just bring it to the top. So we prioritize their state group to the top. And then also like announcements would be at the top. I don't think I'm part of that program. But you can just kind of help them organize it. And then we show them the search feature. So if they're in Texas, you can just type in Texas, show them all the different kind of groups that they can join if they want to. If you're somebody's sponsor, like you can come in and just type the name and say, hey, you can go follow Joey or this person, you know? We just kind of show them how simple it is to use. Remind them it's a social media platform, so don't get stuck on it. But you can follow groups for communication purposes, whether it's locally or internationally. Some people get really excited about this. So if they're really excited, I'll be like, oh, like what group do you want to look up? Like, do you want to know more about KV Core? And we'll see all the different groups they can join. If they're overwhelmed at this point with workplace and everything that we're talking about, I just say, hey, just focus on your state group. This is your California state group. Show them all their brokerage information and just say, I'd encourage you today to do a post introducing yourself so you can have a hands-on experience. And I won't even go into all the other groups. So you just kind of gauge your agents where they're at.
Yeah.
And then that is it for enterprise. So that's how we cover enterprise. And then after we cover enterprise, we then log into the world, which I don't think we need to do since you guys are familiar. And we go to just like, I take them to their broker room and I show them like how to pull a ticket, just your basic stuff, right? But there's something else I wanted to take time to show you guys. So after we do enterprise, we have their folder started, we take them in the world, they're kind of getting acclimated. Sydney, if they're overwhelmed already with just enterprise, don't even go into the world. Say, hey, I'm going to do the world on our follow-up appointment because I want you to be able to digest everything I just gave you. And we'll explore more about trainings on our follow-up appointment. For today, just kind of play around in here, set up your expert profile, maybe make a post on Workplace. You just have to kind of guide them on what they should be doing. Okay. But in the template I gave you, so going back to my email template, can you guys see this page? Okay.
Yeah.
So going back to the email template, I kind of put like a little line right here to separate. The only other thing that we go through with the agent is EXP's onboarding guide. So, and this one's really cool. So if you open this page, this is like EXP's most updated onboarding checklist, right? This is their version of it. And this has like everything from teams to integrations to brokers. So we don't really cover anything. This would be good for you to review, Sydney. Like information about LOI, information about whatever, becoming active, the mentor program, there's more hyperlinks. But when we use this checklist, we kind of just go down to right here. So again, because we're dealing with our active agents, if they're on a team, all those types of discussions are happening beforehand, which I'm normally a part of. I have assistants who kind of do more so the meetings. I do the trainings and meet with the large teams. But when they're active, we go through this to let them know, hey, this is EXP's view. We've kind of already done it. So by this time, the EXP world, we've downloaded it. We've gone into it. So that's done. Workplace, we got them in there. We told them to download it. These are all groups. They're encouraging them to join. They do not have to be parts of all of these groups. But if they wanted to, these are all hyperlinks. So Workplace is done. Workplace chat is done. We talk about how you can message your broker or message other agents. And then here, Okta and Enterprise. So Okta was that dashboard with all the different tabs, and then Enterprise. So we don't focus on this one anymore. So when we come to this, we just say, hey, Passport and Enterprise are kind of one and the same. And what we covered today was your Enterprise account. Okay, that's how we describe it. We're trying to get this one out of here, but corporate's just not listening right now. And then we talk about My EXP. That's about the rev share. So the rev share dashboard, how they can install the app on their phone. SkySlope, we've also got them into already. Again, there's basic trainings right here. All of these hyperlinks, we save this whole page in their folder so they can come back to it. KV Core, we opted them into, but we haven't logged in yet. That's going to be part of our follow-up appointment because KV Core needs a couple of days to actually generate their account. Ring Central, this is kind of for everybody, but it's really not needed unless I think you're in Georgia is the first place I experienced Ring Central. It's mandatory in that state, but all the other states, just again, double check with the broker team just in case until you start getting familiar with where it is and where it isn't. But it's an optional 800 number. So I don't encourage it because just use your cell phone number, you know? Regis, we do this form. So there's a required membership application link right here. We fill out the form with them. When you click the required membership like this, it will pop up. It's going to ask you for an email. It is their EXP email that you need to put here. It gets sent to their personal email and just fill out. It's just their name, their address. It's a very quick form. But we fill the Regis form out with them. And just briefly talk about what it's there for, how it's across the states. We want to make sure you're opted into it. And then here's Build a Sign again. By this time, I had already showed them Build a Sign when we were in the vendors. But if you forgot to do that, then when you come to this checklist, you're like, oh, hey, you have a new agent starter kit within Build a Sign. So take time to order their cards then. Some of them are not ready to, but we always offer to help them order it. And then the last one is EXP events. This is just an app for like EXPCon or ShareWorks, anything, or sorry, shareholders, any events that are coming up for EXP. Okay. Then again, we reiterate the healthcare. I had already done this in the vendor section. And then that's pretty much it. All these other additional ones are just information for them. But we like to go through this checklist to show them, hey, these are all the platforms EXP wants to make sure you're in. And we've already done it with you one-on-one. Okay. All right. And then other than that, we show them BrentGove.com. So we show them this page. Just say, hey, this is Brent Gove. You're in our organization. We save this in their folder. Same thing for the model explained. They all should have watched this. But we let them know if you're looking for recruitment or you're looking for something to share with other agents, watch this video a handful of times and then share it and watch it with your future sponsees. Because Brent explains the model without having the agent try to explain it. So just a little bit more helpful. And these hyperlinks are in that email so you can save it. And then other than that, our follow-up appointment is just logging them into KV Core, showing them their website, showing them Sylvia's webpage, and then asking them if they have any additional questions. Is there any emails that you've received since I've seen you that you're confused about? Have you gone into the world? Are you comfortable? And then by this time, some are like really like, hey, I'm doing great. This is so awesome. Thank you so much for organizing it. And sometimes they're like, I'm a little overwhelmed still, that I schedule a third meeting with them. So you just kind of take it how it comes. But we ideally touch our agents probably 3 to 5 times, just depending on their level of comfortability, whether it's a phone call, a text message. 2 of those meetings are on Zoom. And we just let them know, hey, if you need us, we're here for you. But you're logged into your platforms, you're logged into your tools. And then we just let them know we're there from then on. So that's kind of our approach to onboarding. Woohoo! A lot of stuff.
Do you find, Sydney does every Thursday, hey, I'm new, and she's there and she just answers specific questions that new people have. Do you think that you could do all of this in a group setting, or it's so detail oriented and personalized, it should be one-on-one?
I do that as well on that Zoom. The first like 10 minutes will be questions, 10-20 minutes, and afterwards I share my screen. Sometimes I feel like they don't actually voice their questions. I keep asking throughout, like, hey, like, if you need me to go back or any questions about this. Sometimes they won't, but sometimes they really do. But I always tell them afterwards, like they could call me afterwards, or if they have anything specific.
Yeah, and then I think that's great, like the hey, I'm new. And again, it depends on how you guys are utilizing Sydney. Is she just for your front line? Is she for everybody? It depends on the range of what you're going to give her. In our stance, since we do it internationally, we have to do it one-on-one because of how much detail we're going into, because we're remote taking over, we're logging them into their SkySlope, their passport, their world. So that's why I have assistants as well. So we get that question a lot, like, can we just do this in a group setting? The answer is yes, but I have had for that to work like smoothly. It can't really be done on Zoom because people are different levels of technology comfortability.
Right.
When we do a group setting, we fly out, or like we went to the Bay. I just drove up with my family, and then just as long as all the agents have their laptops with them, you could do it in a group setting. But other than that, it's so detail oriented. And that's kind of what separates us from other onboarding is we meet with the agent one-on-one to they are just our focus. Like right now, your guys' team is just my focus, you know? And that way they don't feel overwhelmed or like they're behind or they're all alone. It's like you have a dedicated person right here telling you exactly what you need to be doing. So
I love that you have it organized in one email and it doesn't feel like when you click the link, you're like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. But initial reaction, it doesn't feel overwhelming.
yeah, and again, you can even shorten it. Like I think the last time I edited our onboarding was probably about 6-7 months ago. But even then I could probably come in here and shorten up a couple things, but like all these regions, like I don't have to have all of these, but we get questions all the time. It makes it easier to have it.
Right.
And yeah, so
Got
is
it.
there anything that you had questions on, Sydney, specifically that comes up, or do you deal with
Nothing too
teams?
specific. So after they're on board and everything, you said you do about 2 to 3 Zooms with them and kind of go over the basic tools. Afterwards, if they are, like asking questions about transactions, like I'll guide them to the sponsor broker room based on that and say I don't work for EXP, just like how you were saying too. But if they keep doing that, do you still just keep directing them or?
Yeah, so if how would I do that? If they keep coming to me, you just simply remind, hey, I just want to remind you of, well, in my stance, it's a little different because once I say I'm not an agent, they're like, oh, she doesn't know anything, you know? So, but once I'm like, well, I'm actually not an agent with EXP, but you have a compliance department, I offer to go in with them. Like I'll log into EXP World with my avatar and like take a ticket and sit at the table. So, I mean, I'm learning as I do that, but I just gear them right back to them. Hey, I can't answer that question, or I'm not in that state. It's different, things like that. So, but if they just need help, like I just ask them, are you comfortable getting into the world? Do you want me to go with you? And the majority of the time they say, yeah, can you? And then I just hop in and go with them. Sometimes they just need a little bit of extra love. So, and then do you deal with teams or team integrations or broker integrations or?
We've done a few.
Okay. So then you've connected with like the TISs and stuff. Okay, cool. Perfect. Yeah, it sounds like you have it down. The only thing I would encourage is Amanda, if you got her an alpha chat, just to make her life easier. She can just chat people instead of going into the world all the time for onboarding questions. I still find myself going into the world if I need to speak to a broker. But for like quick onboarding questions, like where is the status or was there a revision? That can be a quick answer. Hey, is this agent active? Sometimes like if I'm busy and I have another appointment and I haven't had time to check, I'll just quickly chat. Hey, I'm meeting with this person in 30 minutes. Is this person even in the system? So we know how to gauge the appointment. So, and that's Kay Russell.
Got it.
Cool. Any other questions?
No, I think even I get overwhelmed.
Yeah, and that was this. It's smoother when it's actually like an onboarding tour. Right now, I was just kind of like telling you everything. But when you're with another agent and they're asking questions or slowing it down, it's a little bit different. So
Yeah.
if she wants to shadow one, she can. Probably next week when my team's back, just because I'm so occupied right now. But you're welcome to shadow me so you can just kind of see a live meeting as it goes through. So
Yeah, so right now the way it's set up, you are the lead of the onboarding team. Then there's 3 other people that help you with this.
there's 2 other people. So I've been with Brent's team for about almost 5 years, but yeah, I do the lead. So I deal with like the brokers transitions, the team transitions. I work more with the corporate side of things, whereas my team is doing more of like those one-on-one appointments. I can't get caught up in those all the time. There's bigger conversations happening, so I'm helping them. And then my team is doing kind of the day-to-day things.
I see. Yeah.
And they're both gone this week, so I was like, who allowed that?
Do you all share like an email and you pick based on what's important, or do they use Calendly?
So as the lead, I manage the email and the text thread. So this is our email. So we all have access. We just one email, one phone number, keep it easy. So it's just onboarding@brentgove.com. Anybody who emails us, I kind of clean it out. As you can see, I like to keep my email clean. I just haven't gotten to these. So I check this, and then attached to that to the right is this little Google Voice. And Google Voice, let me open it. Google Voice is a free app. You just sync it up to your Gmail. And so this is our text thread. So this, when we're messaging, this is all the people that are messaging. So I manage the email, the text, and they just kind of take the appointments. If I know I'm going to be really, really busy a day, I'll just text one of my girls and say, hey, can you keep an eye on the email? Or, hey, can you respond to the next few text messages that come in? But to keep it clean and to keep it not confusing, we try to just keep one person on this. And then we just delegate it out. So
That's brilliant.
yeah. So, and those are our tools. People always ask us all the time, like, what systems are you using? We use Gmail, we use Google Voice, and we use Calendly. We don't use Follow Up Boss. We don't use any other system. It's a real involvement that we have. So some things are automated, but when it comes to actually meeting with the agent, our information may not change, but their questions do. So every appointment is kind of similar, but every appointment is kind of different at the same time. So it's always fun. But
I
yeah.
see. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, what was your goal? What was your goal for this meeting? Because I know you set this up. Was your goal to get all this information and Sydney start to implement, or hire the team, or still kind of?
The goal is just to just to number one, help Sydney fine tune the process, because she's getting a little overwhelmed. So I think some stuff we can start to push back to the other agent, and tell them to, like, hey, this is local, Sydney, just tell them, hey, I'm not a broker, I'm not the agent, go take care of it by yourself. So you shift it directly to them. So that way we can kind of streamline the process.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
and then the template help a lot as well. I just realized
the templates.
A lot of template.
Like I have my initial joining steps. Like that's the email I just sent you, Sydney. You literally can copy and paste it and just put your information in there. And then you save it as a template. So if somebody's new, you just send them that. I have an EXP LOI policy application because LOIs come up. SAR is more of a local thing. GLA, this is Greater Los Angeles. Oh, this is my train the trainer. I should probably look at that. Let me see what. Let me see something. This is an old link we used to send out for when we do this. I haven't seen what this even looks like. Onboarding checklists, welcome templates, teams, picture program. Okay, Sydney, I'll send this over to your way too. There's a couple of hyperlinks in here. Just like in regards to divisions, just because like there's EXP Realty, EXP Commercial, and then there's Referral. So there's 3 different divisions with EXP, different startup fees, different monthly fees, different requirements. So I can send these over to you for you to view. And then if you want to book a follow-up appointment with me, Sydney, after you take this and kind of create your own, if you still have additional questions on certain hyperlinks, I'd be welcome to hop back on and kind of go in depth with you.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. And then you should, and in my email on the bottom, it says right here, need an onboarding tour, book here. So you can just, that will lead you to our Calendly link. Okay. All right. Sweet. Well, if there's no other questions for now, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Yeah, I think we're gonna bother you a lot more as continue to evolve, and I think it's gonna be a great collaboration between the two onboarding groups. So
Yeah, it would be great. And
each
that's
other.
great that you have Sydney in that stance, because that was, again, my first question was, is there somebody dedicated to the role? Because now you see why you need somebody dedicated to the role.
I
So,
see.
okay.
Thank
Awesome.
you so much for your time, Sophia.
Yeah, you too, Amanda. You guys have a great rest of the day.
You
Well,
too.
thank you. I see you at EXPCon. See you.
Okay, bye.
Yep.